It was a gloomy and rainy night when a group of 4 friends decided to explore the legendary abandoned mansion on top of the hill. The mansion, shrouded in mystery and stories of supernatural happenings, was decayed and overgrown with ivy, as if nature itself feared to approach. As they approached, the friends could hear the creak of the doors swinging in the wind, as if the mansion itself was inviting them to enter. The heavy atmosphere and intermittent lightning created a sense of unease in the group. As they entered the mansion, the darkness was oppressive. The lanterns flickered, revealing furniture covered in dusty sheets and decaying paintings on the walls. The air was heavy with a musty smell, and the silence was deafening. As they explored deeper, they began to hear indistinct whispers and muffled footsteps echoing through the halls. The friends looked at each other with apprehensive looks, their emotions on edge. Suddenly, a door creaked upstairs, and a shiver ran down her spine. They were sure they were alone, but something was watching them, hidden in the shadows. Deciding to face their fears, the group climbed the ancient wooden stairs, whose steps seemed to groan under their feet. When they reached the upper corridor, they found a door ajar. What they found on the other side left them speechless. A decaying room, lit only by candles, was filled with old, broken dolls that seemed to be watching them with empty eyes. A distorted laugh echoed through the room, causing everyone to jump in fright. The dolls began to move slowly, their limbs creaking as they took on a life of their own. The group fled the room in a panic, running through the dark corridors. The whispering voices intensified, whispering names only they knew. Finally, they reached a locked room. Desperate, they started to force open the door, but something on the other side was pushing back. The suspense reached its peak as they fought their way inside. With a deafening crash, the door gave way, and what they saw horrified them. It was a room covered with old photographs, each showing one of them in intimate situations, as if someone had watched them for years. They realized that they were not alone in that house. Something or someone knew their darkest secrets and was determined to make them pay for them. Fear and paranoia gripped the group as they continued to explore the mansion. Shadows danced on the walls, and strange sounds surround them. In an abandoned room, they found an ancient box with notes on dark rituals. It was clear that the mansion was a cult spot for something sinister. As the night wore on, the storm outside intensified, making escape impossible. They were trapped in that nightmare. One of them mysteriously disappeared, and his screams echoed through the mansion. Suspense increased as the others realized they couldn't trust each other. Each corridor and room they explored seemed more twisted and terrifying than the last. The mansion was changing around him, as if it were alive. The friends were in a state of collective hysteria, while dark shadows relentlessly pursued them, almost grabbing them at every corner. In a last-ditch effort to survive, the group attempted to perform a reverse ritual in hopes of undoing the evil that had been awakened in the mansion. But the dark forces that inhabited the place would not allow their escape. The mansion writhed and shuddered, the walls bleeding in black liquid as an evil entity emerged from the ground. It was the price they would have to pay for their curiosity. The friends found themselves face to face with the very essence of evil, unable to flee or resist. Their screams were drowned out by the terror that now enveloped them. And so, the legend of the abandoned mansion gained yet another macabre story for his collection, as the souls of friends joined the other victims lost forever in that cursed place. No one has ever dared venture into the abandoned mansion again. Only the howls of the wind and the murmurs of trapped souls continued to echo through the decaying walls. The mansion's history has become urban legend, a grim warning to anyone considering exploring its haunted halls. The terror that resided there would never rest, and so the abandoned mansion stood atop the hill, a grim monument to human curiosity and the darkness that can lurk in the depths of places forgotten by time. Years passed, and the mansion continued to attract the attention of the brave and the foolish alike. Some believed they could unravel the mysteries that involved it, but all of them, without exception, disappeared without a trace. The abandoned mansion became a curse on the city, a place where horror stories came to life. Those who ventured up the hill were warned by night whispers and haunted dreams. The city finally decided to isolate the mansion, surrounding it with fences and private property signs. But even so, stubborn people defied the warning, drawn to the unknown. Those who entered the mansion were never seen again. Those who left were never the same. Something evil and ancient lived in those halls, feeding on the courage and curiosity of those who dared to venture out. The abandoned mansion remained a scar on the landscape, a constant reminder of the darkness that can dwell in the unlikeliest of places. The townsfolk learned to avoid the hill at all costs. To this day, stories about the mansion are told in whispers on stormy nights. She remains an unsolved riddle, a manifestation of the supernatural terror that lurks in the world. The group of friends who dared enter the mansion, their names forgotten by time, became part of the legend itself. Their souls may still roam the halls, condemned to a dark fate. No one has ever been able to fully understand what happened on that fateful night. The mansion remained an enigma, a gateway to the unknown that would never truly be unlocked. The legend of the abandoned mansion served as a warning to anyone who dared to challenge the limits of the natural world. Sometimes, curiosity can take you to places of no return. And so, the abandoned mansion remained an open wound in the city, a monument to the darkness and insanity that lurks in the heart of humanity. Terror would never let it go, keeping its promise of eternal nightmares for those who dared venture into its dark corridors.